hell you doing, guys? I'm just gonna show off my new ride, or new to me. It's a 1990 Ford Ranger. It's got the 2.9 V6, and it's got. I'm just gonna make sure I got the keys. I'll just leave that open so I can take the box out every time. Odometer says 83,000 miles. It's a 5-digit odometer, which is kind of a quirk of these trucks. I got no plates on it right now. I just don't have time because I started a new job. I get out around 4, and like the DMV closes at 4:30, so there's just not much time for me to really be able to really be able to go get everything sorted. So, but I work 4 days a week, so it's like 4 10-hour days. Like I'm starting to like my first week, so it's going to be reduced because I'm not doing the full 10. So it's going to be like 32 hours. So I might get however long, stuff taken out of my check, whatever. But I'm probably getting paid next week. But anyway, so this is the first gen Ford Ranger, a very special truck in American history, because of the fact that not the first, but it was because precursing this model of truck, you had the Courier. Now I'm trying to be able to look to see. Okay, there it is. And I'm trying to be able to see made by Ford Motor Company USA, so it's a US made truck, of course. Date, I believe it says January of 1990. So January of 1990. I'm trying to find, because I've never been able to read these, like where it says where it was built. I do remember my dad had like a 1991 GMC Suburban, and I believe it was a Michigan truck. I didn't know what it meant back then, but I remember on those square bodies you'll see it shows you where, like, the picture of the truck, and then it shows you an outline of the state where it's from. Ford doesn't do that from what I see. So it's a little harder to decipher, and some of it has rubbed off with age. But it says this vehicle conforms to all applicable motor vehicle standards, of course, of its time. Manufacturer shown above. But a lot of these trucks were built in the Ford assembly plant for the first gen in St. Paul. Like the St. Paul assembly plant built all 3 of the first generations up until its closure in around 2012, and the building is demolished. It's not there anymore, unfortunately. But for the second gen, a lot of them were built in New Jersey. The new ones are now all made in Michigan. So, but yeah, this one's a 4-wheel drive model. It's got the push button 4-wheel drive, which is like convenient when you're using it, but when it's broken, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. Like, it's just because these are more known for going out than the physical floor shifter ones. So this one is a case of one that's like not working. I haven't tested it per se. I've just been like driving it to work and around in places. But I was told about these problems by the previous owner, who was like a 16-year-old kid, and he was like kind of just like, I want to get something bigger. So he's like, they sold it, and they sold it to me, and I got this truck for $1,200. So I can't really complain all that much. Like, unless it literally leaves me stranded, I'm kind of just living with its quirks. The rear view mirror, it needs new adhesive because that one is not sticky. It's not sticky anymore. But the glove box works. It's got an ashtray, which I have fucking used because I am a smoker. I'm 21, okay, people, so it doesn't matter. But this truck is like, it's got let me pull up but like the hood release doesn't give me any much trouble. I've had a couple of vehicles that were, oh wait, I like that part, that's not me. But even still, I got the key, so it's not locked in. So I just put in my safety glasses for my work in here. So it's just always in there. But it's got a aftermarket. It's got a aftermarket air filter, and it's a little warm. I just came home from work, so it is a little warm. You can't feel it, but the gauges, the speedometer, and the tachometer, that's what works. The other gauges are a little bit iffy, but that's brake booster. This is the radiator right here. I might pour in some new antifreeze. I'm not touching anything. As we'll see, it's got oil. It's not like, I gotta wipe it off. I don't have a towel, but I'm not trying to wipe hot engine oil on my hand. But it's not like overly hot where I can't touch anything. But these little motors, these make approximately I think it's like 120 something horsepower, which is electronically fuel. This is a EFI version, 1990. So they were going towards EFI at this time. I'm just like, yep, it's like 2.9 MFI. I think that might be like multi-point fuel injection, or like not multi-point quite yet, because there was like the Vortec, but like, you know, I won't get into that. That's a whole big thing, and I gotta pull out a spreadsheet to be able to get all my facts correct. But she's an Iowa truck, and so she's got a little bit of rust. You can see the rust right here. But as far as it's like, I've drove it over bumps and everything, and I'm just gonna let the hood fall, and hopefully I don't smash my hand. You can see, but it closes real nice. It's just a little warm here, but it's just those gauges up there, they're like, the fuel gauges don't work, and that was the most important thing to be able to know. So I got a little fuel gauge, if you can see it. Yeah, so that's the fuel gauge, and it's got like a quarter of a tank left. I drive 4 miles, so even if this thing was like a gas guzzler, it'd have to be like a straight up military truck to move the fuel needle all that much. And I drive it pretty conservatively. It's mostly like, the issue with the transmission is it shifts slowly, if that makes sense. Like you'll get to a shift point where you would think you would normally go, and it's not that it doesn't shift, it really likes to take its time. From what I was told, it might be a seal leak or something like that, but it's mostly pretty solid. It's like mostly surface rust. We got rust around the wheel wells, which is just expected. I'm not going to touch too much of it. I believe my tetanus shot is about to expire. But the frame itself is the first time, I guess the first time I'm really looking at the frame. Look at that shackle back there. I'm getting a look at it. I know those are kind of a weak point of these trucks, or I don't remember if it's these trucks or like the later ones. My lighter. That these are a weak point, but it's just, you know, you want to look around. Bed opens and everything. Yeah, this side definitely, yeah, it's a bit of ride. Another thing is like the exhaust. It's got a short exhaust because of rust. It doesn't have a muffler, I believe. Cats are like further up, but like it's kind of just like, you know, around here. It's not like, I don't think they have like super stringent testing, especially like emissions testing out here in Iowa, like they would in Illinois, some counties in Indiana, like the mostly Chicagoland areas of Indiana, like a Pennsylvania, a Texas, California especially. But no, it's like I can kind of smell a little bit of a fuel, like a burnt fuel smell, like an exhaust. But it's It's like I've dealt with that before. It's like, so I don't know if it ends right where the cab is. I gotta look for it a little bit, but like I could see the fuel tank. But overall, my first impressions, this is just my first impression. I've had it for 2 days. I'm still trying to get myself sorted legally. It's just that, you know, I have registration and everything. Keep it in the glove box. It's just that I haven't had the time to be able to go to the DMV. Because the DMV, I go to work at 7:30. The DMV opens at 7:30. So it opens by the time I'm supposed to be clocked in at work. So unless I want to take a late day or I was like, you know, everything, I'm waiting until Friday to be able to get that sorted. Because I wish I could sort it after getting off of work, but the DMVs around here close so early than I'm used to because I've just moved to Iowa. Just moved. It's just so oh, kids come. I don't know why they're dropping off here, but anyway. Oh. But you got a center armrest right here. Oh wait, what's that? Oh. Trash. There's some other stuff I do see hidden down there. But that's like coming from the seat. But you got a bit of an armrest, no cup holders. And these seats are beautiful. I'm guessing the Ford seats held up because I've seen another, but like, well, it's just like, you know, I've seen like rips and tears, everything. These seats are absolutely immaculate. I'm planning on getting some seat covers to be able to preserve these seats, but they're absolutely immaculate. They got no headrest, so I'm gonna pull this back so that way I can. I think, yeah, that's about as far as it back as it goes. And I think it's just this forward. But these seats are absolutely immaculate for a 36-year-old truck. It's beautiful, and like they're comfy. This is not by no means a comfortable truck, but this one is an XLT. It's not a Lariat, but it's still a mid-level, fairly like standard. Like I'm pretty sure that was owned by a farmer. I'd have to maybe look at the VIN number to be able to try to be able to see who owned it previously. I didn't really ask her. Like I think it's like I'm a third owner on this truck. I was a third owner on another truck, but this one, as far as I know of, the brakes work fine. Or I'm getting used to, like, because like I was a little not used to the brakes, but like, you know, the brakes work fine. It can put it into gear, it goes in reverse, it goes into the other gears. It does everything it needs to do. It has cruise control. I haven't used that. I haven't gone on the freeway, so I don't really need to use it. Radio doesn't work, which is unfortunate, but like I saw nothing coming up and I was planning on taking it out anyway. So when I have the time and I have the skill set to do so, I will replace it. But right now, I'm just kind of taking it to work. It is taking me back. It is taking me where I need to go, and luckily, like, I don't have that far of a commute, so I do. And it's a overall very solid truck so far. It's only been a couple days. We're gonna see, but I do hope I'm going to have a long history with this truck. I don't plan on getting like I don't really like, I'm just like, this is just to hold me over, and I don't know if it's going to be like my daily forever. I think this is just going to be my daily for now until I can get something better, like, or just this is just going to be my little runabout. I know the 2.9s, they're very good on gas mileage. I don't think they're as reliable as the 3 liters that came in the second gens of these trucks. I know the 3 liters, those are pretty highly looked upon. The 4 liters, they're reliable, but it's just that they are not as reliable as the 3 liter. And 3 liter is easy to work on because for one, it's smaller. For two, the 4 liter, which I believe is like I think 3 liter is also a Vulcan V6, but like the 4 liter is a Cologne. So it's a German design. It's really weird. It's a timing chain engine, which is good. I believe this is also a timing chain engine. It's just that the timing chains where they place them, because the timing chains on the 4 liters, I don't know if it's like for this one, like for the first gens, but I know for the later gens, I think it generally carries over because there was not a whole lot changed in these trucks. Buying one from 1990 and then buying one from like 2012, these trucks did not change all that much in terms of their functionality. It's mostly just the exterior, some of the technology you got, but it's still a very old school experience. You still have a prop rod by 2012. A lot of trucks had gas shocks or like the spring loaded system, all that. So these trucks, they stayed pretty consistent, and I think that's why. And these on the internet, like they've got a bit of a reputation because they can use them. You get them with like hundreds of thousands of miles. This could be a 183,000 mile truck or a 283,000 mile truck. Hell, maybe a 383,000 mile truck. I don't fucking know. I just know it's 83,000. That's what I'll say for now. But as far as I'm concerned, it's probably an 83,000 truck. The only blemish in the interior is this little chip plastic, which for being in Iowa for 30 years, this is older than the second gen Rams, and it's not cracked. I think it's because there's less plastic and there's less dead air for like it to just go, even if it went brittle. So like it's kind of like a softened up. It's not like hard, scratchy. What's kind of scratchy, but it's not like. It's not like a hard plastic. It's not like because this is, once again, XLT. So, but yeah, this is my review of my new Ford Ranger. So far, I quite like it. I can fit in it quite easily. Even with the seat all the way forward, I could still fit in it. It's just like, getting around the steering wheel. That's like a bit of a thing. This does have a tilt wheel. Or I think it does. No, it's a fixed wheel. No, so no, wait. Oh, it is a tilt wheel. Okay, I thought it was like, okay. And it's got steering wheel lock. It's got AC and heat, which the heater works. I have not checked I haven't checked the AC, but like most of it works, which is it's not something you can say about a lot of vehicles. So, but anyway, I'm gonna go inside and go drink. I'm not gonna go drive, of course, because I am but I'm just gonna go in. But like, this is my 1990 Ford Ranger, and picking these up in clean condition is getting harder and harder. So I definitely say, if you're finding one on Facebook Marketplace, definitely or just anywhere, preserve these, because they did not get preserved. They're like, bought this from a teenager. These were kind of kicked down into teenager vehicles. Teenager vehicles are like really old people vehicles. So they were like, the old people vehicles, it's fine, grandpa truck, but when it's like owned by teens, it's going to be, it's not going to be taken care of. And I really think we do need to preserve these trucks, because I'd say they are important. So, but we're gonna say, so like I've gone from owning a first gen S10 to a first gen Ranger. So I have owned a first gen Dakota. I don't want to talk about that one. I'll tell that story for another day. But anyway, y'all have a good day. Bye bye.